Hey guys, Brittany Price here with Living Local. While social distancing plays an important role in preventing the coronavirus from spreading, coping with isolation isn't easy. In addition to the uncertainty and stress of this global pandemic, quarantining can take a serious toll on our mental health. Licensed mental health counselor Alexandra Skinner Walsh explains how the dynamic of this unprecedented outbreak can impact our emotional wellness and what we can do about it.
How can quarantine impact our mental health?
Oh my gosh, in so many ways. How could it not? Let's be real. For all of us, it's a little different. So I think first and foremost, we all need to be gentle with ourselves for however it is impacting us. But for some of us, for a lot of us, it's a really big increase in anxiety, worry, the unpredictability of everything, especially since we had, whether it was maybe realistic or to expect it or not, but we had this kind of end date, right? Like April 30th was when it was all going to clear up and life was going to resume to normal. And then that didn't happen. And for a lot of people, it felt like this extra weight of uncertainty and pressure and unpredictability that now all of a sudden we don't necessarily know. And we don't have that kind of light at the end of the tunnel in the same way we did before. And so a lot of anxiety. For some people, it's an increase in stress, both financial, mental, emotional. Relationships are under a lot of stress. I don't care how much you love somebody, but there is such a thing as too much time with somebody. And so for some people, there's some more conflict at home, whether that be with kids or partners. If you are in a multi-generational home with loved ones in that kind of way, it doesn't really matter, right? We're under a lot of pressure in our relationships too. Also, some of these, what we're having to do with social distancing can mirror some symptoms of mental health, right? Like having to make sure we're washing our hands and being very hypervigilant about our cleanliness can mirror some symptoms of maybe OCD, or having that lack of social connection and distancing and withdrawal can have some triggers for depression or look a little bit similar to some of those experiences we have. So some of it is being able to recognize what it's triggering in us, and if it's bringing on some of our already pre-existing mental health conditions, or if this is all new for us. And either way, it's hard.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that you did a great job of explaining just all the different ways that this very strange dynamic can cause extra stress, uncertainty, and anxiety. So, what can we do to protect our mental health when we're in quarantine?
Great question. And I think it looks different again for everyone. None of us have been through this pandemic before. And so for all of us, we're trying to figure it out day by day, one step at a time. So first and foremost, being gentle, understanding that this is a rough time and that it's okay if we're not fitting the mold of what we think should be happening, right? There's a lot of memes and people posting about all these things they're being productive with and doing over this social distancing quarantine time. And it is okay if you do absolutely nothing. It is okay if what you need is to just rest and not be productive and not get things done. And it's okay if you are productive, and it's okay if you do get things done. But I think taking some of that pressure off of ourselves of what we should be doing is going to be really, really important.
Definitely. I love that. Any other tips you have for people that may be dealing with extra stress or anxiety or just struggling with that uncertainty in their lives?
I focus on your areas of control. There is so much right now that we don't have control over. But there are things we do have control over, which is making connections with people, even if we're really struggling, even if it's hard to get out of bed and we're struggling with symptoms of depression or isolation. Still connect. There's all kinds of really great ways to connect with other people. Again, I think a lot of people are focusing on being productive because it gives us a sense of control. I can't control what's going on. I can't control if I can go to work, but I can control if I clean my closet. I can control if I redecorate my home, right? I can control if I get these house projects done. And so for some people, that can be really, really helpful, is just identifying where is our control and how can we really hone in on that in order to have more sense of predictability.
Alexandra also recommends taking time to check in with yourself and how you're feeling. First, label your emotions. Describe how you're feeling. Second, normalize your emotions. Realize that your feelings are valid and that most people are going through similar experiences. Third, question your emotions. Challenge the expectations you're setting for yourself or expectations others have for you. Thank you for tuning in to Living Local. Remember, we're all in this together.